These old Chevy and GMC trucks are becoming more popular than ever, and the prices are going up. My name is David Welch. I'm here at Brothers Tech Center today so that I can show you what to look for in a truck when you're buying it, so you make sure you pay a fair price for the sheet metal you're getting. Now, the first thing you really want to think about when you're going to go look for a truck is, what is your end goal? Do I want to go to SEMA, or do I just want to go to the ice cream shop, take my trash to the dump, and tool around town? Those are very important questions you want to ask before you start looking for a truck, not after. So now, obviously you're going to get in there and you're going to check the steering, you're going to turn it on, you're going to listen to it run, you're going to check the oil and all those kinds of things. If you're doing a nice, decent daily driver that you're not going to be doing an engine and tranny on or anything like that. But a lot of times you're not going to get an engine or tranny. This gentleman for this truck bought this purely for the sheet metal. We don't have an engine in here. But this is really what you want to be looking for in any truck that you're buying, is what's underneath. All right, so I want to see about the overall condition of the truck, and one of the first places I like to look is the tailgate and the front panel. If they're really hammered up, then I know this truck was probably beat up and abused. This tailgate's actually in pretty good shape considering the years and etc., and so is the front panel. So I can assess by that it wasn't hammered too bad. Next, I'm going to go ahead and look at my bedsides right here. Now, this might have all kinds of glossy paint on it and everything. What you're going to have to do is get down here and take a look underneath. Now, one of the things that's nice about this one right here is this lip right here. It's in really nice shape. Nobody's carved into this, nobody's rolled it up or anything like that. That's a really good sign. I can go ahead and get under here and I can check to see if I've got any dents or any rust that's hiding on me. A lot of times people will hide stuff with Bondo and they'll use the black undercoating on there. So you really got to get up underneath and take a look, because this is where the story is told. Now I'm going to move up front and I'm going to show you what to look for there. Next, I want to take a really good look at my cab. Now, this is really common to have rust down at the bottom of the cab. So what I want to do is look on the inside to make sure that, one, it doesn't have rust, or if it's been repaired or not. I'm going to want to see if the repairs are done nice. Did somebody just punch it in and put Bondo in there? Did they cut it out and put a patch panel on correctly? All of that's going to be found out by looking inside here. Next, I'll go to my rocker panel. Now, what I want you to notice on this rocker panel right here is this seam right here. So with that seam, I know that this is an original rocker panel and it hasn't been replaced. Rocker panels are also very common to rust out and very common to need replacement. So you're going to need to check these out, not just right here, because a lot of times when these are replaced, this here will get smoothed out or bondoed over or whatever, but I got to get up underneath again and I got to double check the inside of the rocker panel and the floor up under here too. This is very common that this is going to be rusted out down here, and this is looking really good. You're also going to want to make sure that you're checking this support right back here, also very common to rust. This is really nice and solid. I don't see any evidence of there was an accident. This line is nice and straight, so things are kind of looking pretty good here for the year and make of this car. Now we'll get up on top and double check the floor some more. Now, we've checked underneath, but we want to check on top too. So hopefully whoever you're buying the truck from is going to let you pull up the carpet and take off the sill plate right here and check underneath, because there's normally a lot of dirt and potentially rust hiding in there. So we can see that here, that's something that's going to need to be repaired. Another problem that you run into on these is that because the heater cores on this side, and the heater cores have such a tendency to leak, they're going to get the carpet here wet. Then the moisture is going to harbor and your rust is going to poke up right here. So here we've got some rust holes that are relatively large. And again, this is pretty much common stuff you'll see on trucks that are this age, but you may not want to do these kinds of repairs if you're looking for an upper echelon truck. Now, on your door, right here and right here, they typically tend to rust. Up underneath here also. This is looking pretty good. This one's not too bad at all. On the front right here though, Nothing here, but you can see we do have a little bit of rust right here. Again, very common stuff to find. You're going to want to know about that before you pay, not after you pay. Now on your front fenders right here, we can see this has been repaired. And from the outside it looks good, but you always have to get behind it and check it out. It might be a sloppy repair. You might see a lot of Bondo, a dent, and miscellaneous things on the inside. You're not going to know until you do this. So here I can see that the fender repair's been done very nicely. It's because I did that. I can also see that my A-pillar's nice and straight. I can see that my cowl right here, my air inlet, is not rusted out. I can see these lines are nice and straight. I can see I don't have any rust going on right here. I can see my support here, and I can see my support here. All of those look really nice. It doesn't look like anything's been dented up. So not too bad in this corner. With my hood up, I can check my inner fenders. Now right here you can see on the fender and on the inner fender, this lines right here are really nice and straight. I can see right here that it doesn't look like this has been crunched up, which would be a telltale sign of an accident. Sometimes though, you'll have to look back here, because if it was in an accident, this can get crushed back, and that really makes it difficult for you to line up your front sheet metal. I'm also taking a look at my firewall here. Doesn't look like anything weird's been done. Doesn't look like anybody's hammered up into the bottom trying to stuff a giant engine there or anything like that. I can see that my radiator core support is nice and straight on top and on bottom. Now we do have some rust down there, but that's pretty typical stuff you're going to see, and it's easy to get a lot of these parts, so we're not worried about that. With this here looking pretty nice and secure, double checking both sides and everything, I can go ahead and move on to the next thing. Now you need to make sure that you're educated in the specifics of the year truck you're looking for. You want to make sure what's available, and more importantly maybe, is what's not available. For instance, this is the only year they made this grill, 1962, and they do not make this new. So if I'm looking for a 62, I want to make sure this grill's in really good shape. If it's not, I got to add that into my cost. It's going to be tough to find. It's going to be a couple of bucks. So make sure that you know all of the options that were available for the year of your truck. Make sure you're really educated up on all of the different things before you go looking. You don't want to find out after the fact. Now you take a look at that dent right there, and that might be a deal breaker for you right there. But they make these doors brand new. They bolt right on, all your regulators, everything bolts right in it, and their cost of them is going to be less than what it would have taken to repair this, sandblasted, bodywork, block sanded, and paint it. So don't be afraid of a few dents here and there. Make sure what your options are, and then weigh your dollars on that. But that's not a deal breaker right there. Now the trucks came with a lot of different options. For instance, this right here on the outside, that's a deluxe trim there that I really like. On the inside, it had a ton of options too that you're going to want to pay attention to, because they increase the value of the truck or not. They had a custom cab, steering wheel. It was really great looking. They had a lot of different options and gauges. For instance, if you had an RPM gauge in there, that was really rare and really valuable. Idiot lights, not so valuable. If somebody cut into the dash, for instance, to put another radio in there, you're going to have to, figure that into your overall math. Some of the trucks came with air conditioning, and the air conditioning controls are cool to keep and things like that. I actually can't even remember all the options that they have out there, but that's showing you why you need to educate yourself on all the other different options. And if they have them on there, that's going to make the truck more valuable or less valuable. Is your seat in good shape or not? Are you going to have to replace it or not? Are you going to want to keep it or not? Did it get bolted into the floor right? You really got to check all these details. You've heard me say it a million times, but the devil is in the details, because that's where he's looking to burn you. Now, you make sure you check us out on Facebook and Instagram, you subscribe to the channel and all that kind of stuff, because we're here to help you out. Next week, I'm going to be here with another video, and we want you to see that one too.